It was supposed to be at 11, but I was not feeling it. I was feeling like I needed to be in a bathtub. My eyes felt very irritated, um, kind of, what is it, gummy like something was in my eyes, like dust particles stuff. So I just kind of, I said, let me just change the time down. Hi, welcome to Be So Light. I'm Priestess Makala as well as Felicia and Liana. You pick and choose. For now, it's still me. For now. So, hold on. This over here. Mhm. All right. Oh my God. So, when I woke up, I was just feeling like I had to get in the bathtub, take a medicine bath. So I just got out of it about 30 minutes ago. And I said, let me get on here, do my teaching of the day of they are here. They are here with you. And hi. So the reason why I put that title, and hey, we're 22 days into the gratitude challenge. And we're leading up to our energy of 10 days. So yesterday I gave you a lot of info, what to do. I put it in the description box. We have to start getting ready. Um, and it's not about fear and all of that. I don't want you guys. I was, I overslept this morning. I was in a deep travel. And the messages that I was getting and the things I was seeing and feeling and everything that was coming through, and it was really interesting. It was all about everyone being in fear of what's going to happen and this going to happen. First of all, fear does what? Brings it to your doorstep. Okay? In order to be the alchemist of your timeline, listen to how this is being said to you today. I love it. Thank you. In order for you to be the alchemist of your timeline, you have to keep your frequency focused in on where you really want to go and be. And that doesn't mean where you're physically going to take yourself like a different place or whatever, but it means how you are divinely aligning with a positive timeline that does not bring fear factoring. Okay? Now, I know for a fact what I was told many years ago. I had a visit. And it was one of those kind of visits where it kind of makes you go, whoa, what was that message? How did I get that message? Whoa. But it has stuck with me, and now I understand why it was said all the way up to now. And I just know that if you stay on a timeline where you are expecting a negative outcome and you're expecting all hell to break loose and doom and gloom and the apocalypse of the walking dead and all that and everything, if you're expecting that, you will see that because that's the timeline that you are hosting to. Okay, so now we're going to go a little bit deeper. And I need everyone who is a Be So Light tribe member here. And what I mean by member, that means you've just been showing up. You've been putting in your time, working on yourself, doing your part, being a part of the collective energy here. in a sacred container. But the movies that are going to be coming out, Civil War, anything that deals with slavery, all of that, nobody should be going to those movies. Do not pay your money to go to those movies. Because one, you're feeding into a timeline that they can hook you into. Okay? Two, you're getting the mind fed imprinted on you through that movie. Okay? Because when you pay the money, you walk in, you sit down, you drink the drink, you're drinking the Kool-Aid. You're getting the popcorn, and you're watching the movie. Now, unless you're going there to decode something, to get a message, and that's a part of your divine assignment is to get the message and decode, okay, no problem. But as far as going there and wanting to see what it's all about, and don't feed it. Don't give it, because it's a part of the negative timeline. It really truthfully is. Pay attention to certain movies that are promoting Left Behind, that are promoting fear, things like that. Don't connect into that. This is where you show deep gratitude of the self of knowing this. Okay? Of your divine alchemy, of what you will sign up for and what you won't sign up for, and what you won't consent for. How many of you have been hearing this weird, high-pitched sound? It's just coming a little bit more pronounced and more often. You've been hearing it? I've been like, when I start hearing it, I say, if you're not divine, I don't consent to you. And it'll stop. And I'm like, see? See? So you got to kind of be aware when you're hearing certain frequencies. Look at the time when it's happening and find out if this is going to be a pattern time, an artificial energy that's coming in and it hits on the same time of the day. That's how you know. And pay attention to that, and don't consent to the energy. If it starts making you feel kind of strange or weird, don't consent. So, I'm sorry, I don't consent to this. You're not a divine energy. I'm higher than you. This is that kind of stuff that they don't like. Okay? I'm higher than you. I stand in my divinity of myself, my sovereignty. It's very important now, because in the next few days, all these different planetary alignment things that's going to be coming in on the 9th. What did he say? He said it was 8 portal type of things. And I was just like, let me just write this down so I can keep up. But it's all going to start on the 9th. Energy. Okay? And it's around money. It's around relationships. It's going to be putting us to the test. Old blast from the past. It's going to be showing up. People that you haven't talked to in eons, all of a sudden going to be, hi, how's it going? How are you doing? You're going to be like, who the hell are you? Why are you back on my timeline? You shouldn't even be on this timeline. You know? And you have every right, when someone from the past shows up, to say, so why are you searching for me? Is there something that is unfinished business between us? If you already know what it's about. And see if this person is stepping up to clear it. That's more than happy when people come up and they're going to clear something with you. There's going to be a lot of concentrated energy coming in, starting on that time all the way to the end of the month. Okay, let's just cover it like that. Because it's going to be depending on what your natal chart is and what your transit lines are and what your transit planets are doing right now that you need to know about, is how it'll affect you. Okay? It's really important. Everyone needs to be on point with who you are. Knowing your signature, knowing when you were born, knowing your date and birth and time, knowing what your name means, knowing all of this factors in to everything what we're moving into. And knowing how powerful you are to say, hey, no, I'm anchoring in to a higher timeline. I'm anchoring in. Sorry. I'm anchoring in to a higher timeline. I just got a notification of someone that's talking about my teeth are real. I'm like, okay, that's good. Orlando James. It's so funny. Um, so when you move into those higher timelines and you anchor and you stay there, this is when you're really getting into that creativity. This is when you're really anchoring into that part of self. So when I say they are here to help you, they are. Rather it's your ancestors. Now here's the key. Your ancestors, they need to be already healed. You don't want an ancestor that still went over to the other side and they're still thinking some kind of lower energy of themselves. Or if this was someone that didn't finish life out and they did it at their own hands and they went over, they are in a deep healing, okay? And they have to come back through. And it's kind of like when they loop back through, they come back through so they can complete the task, okay? So it's really important to understand that, yes, they are here to help you, but you want to make sure everyone's on your team is there for the highest good for you. You don't have any hitchhikers. You don't have anyone sitting in the background that's saying, yeah, I'm going to help her out, but I'm really going to mess it all up. Da-da-da-da. You don't have any of those. You're making sure all your gates to you have guardians and everything's taken care of. And then when we talk about interdimensional beings that are of a higher connection to us, or it might be a star system that you came from, and you agreed when you came down here for this time to be a part of this, you agreed to the whole part to say, yeah, I'm going to go down, I'm going to be a whole part of this coalition with the Earth Mother picking up, and she's going through a transformation. I'm going to be a part of this, okay? Here's the thing. Your star family or your intergalactic beings, they know where you are. They know why you're here. And they're waiting for you to complete your mission so when you do return, they can have a big party celebration and say, so how was your time on Earth? Do tell us. What did you learn? How was it? I hear this was the biggest time. The whole galaxy was talking about how Earth was evolving and setting herself free. They want to hear all that. They want to know. Because right now, that's what it's all about. The Earth. Being our true selves. Being in that moment. So, this is really important right now. And really paying attention to who's helping you. Do you hear the messages? Do you see the clues that are being left for you? Yes, they're here to help us. And I'm sorry, I just cannot get on board with some people saying things like, nobody's here to help you, no one's coming to rescue you, you got to do it all yourself, and da-da-da-da-da. I'm sorry. I just can't buy into that. You want to know why? Because I've had too many divine interventional things happen. And if I was to believe in that, I would believe that I'm just solely on this planet by myself and nobody out there gives a care. I'm sorry, I just can't buy that. Because I personally have had those things, divine intervention happen to me. So when I hear people say things like that, first of all, I'm trying to figure out, is their light fully on? Who are they working for? Why are they saying that? And why would you say something like that to innately make someone drop in their frequency and feel bad, like nobody else cares about them? We're not on this planet by ourselves. We're not the only beings out in the galaxy. And if you're still thinking like that, I highly suggest you get hydrated. Get some water in you, and please let it be some good blessed up water, because you're behind. So this is why I'm saying this. We're not, they're here to help us, but they're going to do it in a very discreet way. They've shown too many movies on how they do these things. They've shown too many. Too many movies out there. Nope. Look up. Oh. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Fourth Kind. E.T. Phone home. They've shown too many movies. Kryptonite. Oh, okay. Other beings from other galaxies that are not correlated to our gravity on this planet can fly. All right. Thor. All right. These are just all different dimensionals. Now, here, I want you to think about this. And someone on a TikTok said it, because I was watching something. I'm not on TikTok. It comes through the YouTube thing. I lasted 5 minutes on TikTok. I had to take it off because it was like just too much. Same thing with Twitter. I couldn't do Twitter. It was supposed to be X now, whatever. I lasted 5 minutes on that. And it was just like, ugh, not my alignment. Got rid of that. So anyway, it came through on my feed, and I thought it was really interesting what was said, because I said, that's what that symbol is. So if you take a triangle and you draw another triangle on top and another triangle on top. Okay, you got 3 triangles. Then you have this arch. And then you have these 3 orbs above it. And that image, like I said, was sent to me. And I was like, why am I keep seeing that? And then finally, I started thinking, and I said it. I said, what if there's no heaven? Not the way we think it is. And I was talking to someone. I said, I just thought about it. I said, what if it's not what we think it is? When you hear the word heaven, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Clouds, a gate, pearly gate, you see your loved ones up there, da-da-da-da. But what if heaven was really another layer dimension that was just above us? So just follow me, just hypothetically. This is what happens when your DNA, your RNA, your mitochondria starts talking, and mitochondria kicks in and starts saying, yeah, I'm going to get this body going, and starts firing off. And what happens, things start sparking, and you start getting these sparks, and you start getting these memories, and you start getting these flashes, and you're not sitting there. Now, come on now. I'm not sitting there just out of the blue, just, oh, what if there's no heaven? I'm not thinking that. I'm just sitting, minding my own business, and all of a sudden it just pops in, and I'm like, let me take a look at that. So think about this. Just think about this. Okay, I'm going to show you. Just for example, don't get caught up on this, but I'm using the lines. Okay, you see these lines? Okay, say that This is Earth right here. Okay, we're on this Earth line. Okay, then right above us is this other dimension. Okay, that's a different timeline. Okay, but then right above that one is another dimension, different timeline. And then this one right here is the bigger one, the bigger cities, the lit up ones, the ones that are way ahead of all the technology, da 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 da. Okay, follow what I'm saying. Okay, so if this is us, say like we were here and then something fluky happened. I don't know, like maybe Atlantis got crazy with a technology, and when they blew, it literally dropped us to here. And we've been busy trying to get back up here. So what's happening now, since Mother is ascending, she's taking herself back up to this dimension. She's trying to move back up and expand back up. Just think about that. I mean, so really, when they keep saying as above, so below, as above, so below, what are they really talking about? Let's dissect that. This is what it means to really be divine alchemists of thoughts, divine alchemists to see the bigger picture. Not to go like overboard and dissect it to the point to where you can't function. But no, to kind of like, what is the possibility that this is Earth? Here, right here is a dimension right here that we can't really see, but we're going to be seeing. But what if this is, let's just say hypothetically, this is fifth dimension. Okay, so we're merging with it. But we're already are merging with it. Okay? And we're starting to see things. Think about that. Think about it. That's why I titled it that. They're here to help us. Help us to remember. Help us to know who we are. Help us to not lose our hope in the process. Because it's really easy to get lost in this world and think that everything that we're seeing is all real, it's stuff that's happening. But we have to look at what timeline is that on? And what timeline are you choosing to be on? So here's how I'm going to prove my point. A friend of mine's, Jen, she lives in a apartment complex, and it was really interesting. She had called me and she told me of a strange thing that happened to her. And I said, what? She said, well, it's really interesting. I went outside to put my garbage out. I'm just going to kind of fill this in because I can't remember exactly what she was doing that day. And I ran into one of my neighbors, and she was wet from head to toe, like she's been in a storm and everything. And she says to me, wow, how is it you are so dry coming out? And she goes, well, I'm going to go put the garbage. Oh, it's raining like cats and dogs out there, and I've just been through storm after storm. I've been going back and forth and putting things out there. And she's like confused because she goes out on her balcony and she sees clear day and it's nice. But her neighbor is talking about it's storming outside. And she's all wet up from being in a rainstorm. So, she's thinking, well, what the hell am I missing? So she goes and puts the garbage out and she goes outside. It's clear as day. There's nothing. Do 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 do. Twilight Zone. So this lady was on a different timeline where she was experiencing split time. She was in the weather. But my friend wasn't in that. She wasn't on that timeline. She was on a higher timeline where she wasn't experiencing that. Follow? Get what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is everything is in layers. So when we look up, there's a layer above us. There's another layer above us that we can't see because we are in this timeline. But as we evolve, we'll be able to see these timelines. And I'm still seeing the same energy with the firmament breaking apart. I'm seeing that because there's so much more above us that we will be seeing. So yes, they're here to help us. They are. Because there is what I call a plan of corrections that has to take place. And I'm not sure how you feel about it, but I am a stickler. I really am. Now you got to remember, everybody was a part of this whole thing. This energy. And now since Mother is evolving, we're moving through this. Time is moving so fast. We're on Wednesday already. If we blink tomorrow's Thursday. Do you see what I'm saying? So when we talk about being thankful, being connected to what we're creating for ourselves, and what timeline are you doing it on? What are you still attached to that you're still thinking this is how it's going to work for you when you go up? It's not. It's not the same. This is so important to understand what you hook your timeline into, what it's doing. That goes for people. Where are they? If you're with high vibe people, you're good to go. But if you're with people that are glooming and dooming you and scaring you, and you gotta get prepared, you gotta buy gold, I'm like, but what if you're in your car and everything happens and you're out in a different state somewhere and stuff goes down? And what are you gonna do? Try to hurry up and get back to your place? What timeline is everything happening in? That's the game. Okay? And if you really sit and think about it, look at it like this. I was shown different artists, music artists, timelines. Different movies come out, timelines. Different events, timelines. They're all fractured timelines to get you to be in that. So you're not really staying focused as a beam of light that's just going straight through just like this. Or better yet, sweeping off your sidewalk. Saying, nope, 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 nope. Does that make sense? So, I thought it was a really interesting thought that came in, and I was like, talking to the team, and I said, that's something to really think about and ponder. Because really, when we think about heaven, what is it made of? Made of higher thoughts, made of vision, made of our interpretation of a higher love, a higher power. But where does it sit? Is it just right above us on a different dimension? Which means that the people have graduated from this timeline and now they're on this timeline, which is the heaven. It gives you a lot to think about. To really kind of like look at that. I know that sounds deep, but I have to question everything. And this is what we need to be doing. You need to be questioning things. You need to be looking and say, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense to me. Oh, wait a minute. Let's just dive into that. What if it was like that? How do you connect the dots and how does it make sense? You know what I'm saying? So this is why I actually can say, yes, they're here to help us. They're here to really help us discover the highest potential of ourselves. Because when you really dive into you and you give yourself permission to be 100% of yourself and authentic, not trying to fit in, and not going along with an artificial curriculum. You're going along with the divine curriculum. Then everything is revealed. So where is everything? How it lays out? And yes, they are here to help you. They help you to see. They're here to help guide you. They're here to help you trust yourself. And they're really here to help you to know who you are and love yourself. Because so many people have lost love of themselves. They think that being inundated with how to look a certain way or be a certain way it'll help them feel better. But it's like, what do you need to do to shift an energy that is making you feel like that in the first place? And this is why we do this work. This is why we go in and do this. Okay, so sit and think about that. Really think about it. It's in layers above us. Okay, but it's flat layers, just like this. Okay, it's earth and there's just little layers above us. Think about it. So, I've been watching, like I said, I've been like really watching on Freeform, Shadowhunters. I'm already in season 2. And really watching it and decoding a lot of things that I'm seeing on it. And I'm like, wow. They are really putting it right here in front of our faces in this show. So I thought that was really, I'm still kind of watching it and still looking at it. And I'm saying, okay, I really want to dive into more of what I'm researching on that. And just kind of watching what they're saying. So today, for our message of what I'm pulling, hold on 1 second. I thought it would be nice to go way outside the box. So I'm doing a little something different. With some different cards. For the messages of the day. So I hope you're getting ready because we only have 8 more days to go. And then boom, we're into the other one. And I'll let everyone know, hopefully by next week, I'll be able to say, okay, I have the new group. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm going to see how this ties in. The new group, Signal group up. And if you are interested in learning Spiral Light and becoming a practitioner, then definitely email me. And tell me why you would want to do it. Because I'm very picky. Very picky. You have to come with a good heart and a purpose. All right. So the first card that I'm diving into is the Sibyls. And I remember when I came across this, I found this at a bookstore. And I was like, what the heck is this? I got it, and it was like, it took me 2 years to try to open it up and see if I wanted to do that. I get it, and I'm like, okay. Something I don't have. Then I started hearing about the stories of them. And I was like, oh, that's that's why I got that. The priestess, the oracle priestess of that time. So the card that I have is Adversa Opposition. And I thought this was really interesting. It's about the lion. The lion is getting speared here. And this talks about the lion represents pride and the spear represents the external threat. All cats are territorial, but the lion will go to any length to protect its space, whether the threat is real or only imagined. So if a person, place, thing, or ideal is rubbing you the wrong way, I strongly advise you to dig deeper to try to discover what this antagonistic feeling is really about. This is especially true if nothing has been done directly to you. What does that person, place, or thing really represent in your mind? Why does how a person looks, perceives the world, communicates, or behaves irritates you so much if what they do has absolutely no effect whatsoever on your life? The sooner you realize this antagonistic feelings have nothing to do with them, but everything to do with you, the sooner you will either change your mind or have no reaction at all. I like that. So here are the questions. And the question to this, to ask yourself, what are the most likely consequences if you continue to fight? Why do you feel stuck if you're free to move forward? How does your weakness factor into the equation? Do you repeat the same negative behaviors, thereby creating opposition time and time again? Have you faced your dark side? Good questions. Good questions. Then the next medicine card that I got is actually the 13. The wisdom is on the top, but the 13 is on the bottom. These are very vibrational medicine cards. And the vibrational medicine cards, I like these because it deals with symbols, it deals with the colors. And this one is talking about it is the utmost importance now to stay centered and keep all your projects and your relationship within appropriate limits. As you correlate your subconscious and your conscious selves and accept yourself more deeply, you will be able to stay in balance no matter what disturbances are happening. So the affirmation of this is, I am living in complete balance of my right and left, masculine and feminine sides, staying grounded and centered. Okay, so it's the only bottom part of it. It says if I would have pulled and this came up, like the wisdom part or so would have been the opposite side of it. So, now the last card, message of the day. And I found this interesting. And I was like, whoa, this is kind of lining up with that. Chaos. 18. Find solace within the eye of the storm. This is like the tower. This is that energy that is screaming of the heavens and things that are breaking down, things that are shifting. Notice how it's the lightning and the water. Everything's kind of the tower effect to break down. So what needs to still be broken down within you? What still needs to be broken down and released so that you can continually move forward? Where are you still feeling like you are being held hostage in situations that are occurring? Because they are here to help you. And remember the rule of thumb, the universal rule is they can help you, but you have to ask. You have to ask for assistance. And don't try to manipulate it on how you want it to show up. Because remember, they can see the picture bigger than you. They can see all around how big it is, more than you. You will come from a place of only so much limitation. Okay. So think about those things. It was a deep thought, and I had to really look at that thought. And I was just like, yeah. And the picture, if you really look at the picture that is on there, I put that picture before in the community group. That is a Zeta reticula. When I was out and about at a botanical gardens, walking around, and I was just snapshotting, taking pictures. If you really look at it, you'll see the eyes, the forehead, and that long neck. And it was not a insectoid being like the mantis being. Mantis beings, they have more of a here type of look, and they're more elongated. First, I thought it was a mantis being, but it's not. It's a Zeta reticula. But not all beings are bad. You know, if you're like supposed to be afraid of them, they're not. Zeta reticula beings are teachers, and they come with a lot of love when it comes time to teach. They like to teach. Even mantis insectoid beings, some are good and some are bad, but majority of them are highly loved beings, and they speak in clicking tones. So if you start hearing clicking sounds, like, hold on, that kind of clicking sound, that's a mantis being. And usually mantis beings, that's how they communicate. So I just wanted to share a little bit of that and put that. We got 8 more days. And I don't know who's going forward for the 10 days. That's going to be 10 more days to add on. That's going to be 40 days. Couldn't make this stuff up. I'm telling you. So everything is moving forward as far as everyone needing to be true to themselves and what they see. And really give yourself patience if you have not been feeling really good and you've been tired, and give yourself time. You know, if you can sit back, if you need to take a bath like I did. Change the whole thing, and I'm like, I gotta get in the bathtub and soak and just be. Do that. Listen to yourself. Okay? All right, lovelies. I'm gonna kind of play quiet today, and I got a client I got to check in on and change a couple frequencies and set things up, and then go through and see how my students are doing, and finish out watching Shadowhunter. Kind of really looking at what they're really talking about. It's been kind of like, oh yeah, it's all about the angels. I like that. All right, lovelies. Yeah, it's free on Freeform. You type it in, you can go to Freeform and watch it. So be good to yourselves. If you have any questions about certain frequencies, or if there's something for tomorrow that you would like to have a frequency for, please let me know in the comments. But everyone, from what I understand, is utilizing and moving through with the frequencies that they already have. So, good. I'm glad you're doing that. All right, lovelies. I got to take care of me, drink lots of water. I just finished doing my distilled water, so it's done. Now I got to pour that into my water code bottle and have that all coated. So, but yeah, I got my eye on something I've been noticing. And I'm gonna do something different and see what the results are. And then I'm going to come back and talk about it, because it has a lot to do with my water that I'm leaving on my altar and how I noticed something very interesting. And I'm like, okay, let's try something else. Let's see what happens. All right. All right, lovelies, be good to yourself. Much love. Be so light, like, and subscribe. As well as know that you're divinely aligned, you are divinely heard, you're divinely seen, and you're divinely loved. Be so light. Be good to yourselves. Bye.